Hello, Twitchverse. Welcome. I am your virtual singing teacher. My name is Miss Tara, and this is your virtual music studio. I'm so happy to be here today with you. It's Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific time here in Southern California. It is balmy here today. We were having some really nice cool weather, and then it got real warm again. But hopefully the weather will be cooling off again soon. We'll be back to some nice fall weather. I use that term loosely here. And I want to welcome you back. I hope everyone's getting ready for the holiday season, trying to get into some kind of spirit, and I hope that you're singing. I'd love to hear your singing stories. If you want to share them in chat, please feel free to do so. I'd love to hear all about it. Today, because it's Monday, we're going to have a voice lesson. It's going to be more of a beginner voice lesson. So I've put actually our first two exercises that we'll be doing after our posture check and after our breathing lesson. But first, what I want to do is that posture check. So if you're seated like I am on my pink velvet chair, what I would like for you to do is make sure that you're up off the back of the chair, that your torso is lifted and your feet are on the ground. Okay. Sitting down and singing is totally fine, but you want to make sure that you have good posture. You want to make sure when you're singing today, I'm going to move my camera a little bit. There we go. You want to make sure when you're singing with me today that you watch your shoulders, that they don't get too high or too tense. If you notice suddenly that they are, feel free to shake them out. You also want to make sure that your chin isn't following in the direction of your voice. So if your voice is going high and your chin's going up like this, just try to make it more level like that. If you're standing, which is always the ideal way to go through a voice lesson, that's the way I go through my voice lessons with my own teacher. You want to be standing with your feet shoulder width apart, okay? A slight bend in your knees and your weight in your heels. That'll actually encourage your butt to tuck underneath you. So you'll have a really nice, flexible but grounded positioning for your singing, okay? And if you're trying to chat, I'm going to try to refresh the chat a couple of times today because I know I've missed people in the past. So I'm just going to do a couple of copies and paste here and refresh chat if you have any questions for me. I'll put that back up there. Okay. Anyway, so let's start with some breathing, okay? So we're going to start with our stamina exercise. And remember, when you're doing this exercise with me, I want you to go at your own rate and pace, okay? So we're going to start by inhaling a really deep, slow inhale. I'm pulling my breath across the back of my throat to slow it down. And then I'm going to hold my breath for 12 beats, okay? 12 beats, which I'm going to count on my hands. And today I'm going to do them in a rather allegretto fashion, meaning allegretto means a little bit fast, okay? So I'm going to do that for 12 beats. I'll do it on my fingers. And then I'm going to release the air on a really thin stream between my lips for as long as I can. The key, though, on my release and my exhalation is that I'm keeping the exhale consistent, okay? So it's not so much about how long I'm exhaling for, it's how consistent I am in that exhale. If you find that you're going for a really long time, really slow, here, I'm going to adjust my mic just a tiny bit because I'm already getting into the red zone. And with my speaking, and I want to make sure that I'm not blowing anyone out here. Okay. If I find that I'm exhaling and I'm exhaling super slowly to go for a long time, but it's not consistent, where I'm sort of going and sort of puttering a little bit, that's no good. What I'd rather have for you is that you have a really consistent rate of exhalation and that it be kind of short or not as long as I can go for. That's totally fine. Remember, the breathing exercises, among other things, one of their chief goals is to get in touch with my body, which is my instrument. Okay, my whole body is my instrument, not just my vocal cords. So I do this exercise to get in touch with my mind. I do this exercise to get in touch with my breath support muscles, but to also see and gauge where my body is today to support my voice. Okay, so here we go. I'm doing it. I'm going to count. You can join with me. You ready? Here we go. And evidently I can't count because I went to 13 beats. So if you did that with me, good for you. It's because it was going so fast. I didn't even realize how fast it was going. Okay, good. So that was good. I got a nice exhalation. It was pretty consistent, but we're going to do this again. I'm going to breathe in nice and slow. When I'm doing this, I'm going to keep a nice lift in my cheekbones. If you'll notice, I'm going like this. When I'm holding my breath, I'm keeping my cheekbones lifted. When I exhale, I'm keeping my cheekbones lifted. The lift in my cheekbones keeps a lift in my soft palate, okay? And I want to build that lift in my soft palate into my inhalation and my exhalation. As singers, we inhale and we sing on the exhalation. So we want to build the space on the inhalation, and then on that exhale, have it already set up for ourselves, okay? So here we are going again. This time we'll do 14 beats, allegretto speed. I'll try to remember to stop when we get to 14 on my fingers here. Here we go. And even when I think I'm finished, I pull my stomach muscles in a couple more times just to get them plugged in, just get them pulled in just a little bit more, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to skip ahead, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to inhale like that nice diva breath that I was just doing where I'm pulling my air in across the back of my throat, but then I'm gonna exhale immediately, so no holding this time. I'm gonna exhale immediately on an S as quickly as I can for as long as I can, as consistently as I can, okay? So the key here is that I'm inhaling and then exhaling, and that exhalation is as fast as I can. So pulling the stomach muscles in to send that S out, and also seeing how long I can do that for, how long I can keep that consistency going for, okay? And you can join me. Again, you breathe in and you breathe out at your own way and pace. You might be able to do it longer than I can. It might have to be shorter. That's okay. This is up to you, what your body can do, okay? Here I go. Now, usually when I do that exercise with myself and when I do that exercise with my students, they can actually keep that going for longer than they can keep the stamina exercise going for. And that's because that S exhalation is a much more concentrated exhale, right? So I'm using very specific amount of air for a very specific amount of time on a very specific sound, okay? But even when I get to the end, I still always pull my stomach muscles in once or twice more, just to feel that I have a little bit more air in there. And that becomes more and more important as you sing, particularly when you sing songs. When I sing songs, always still to this day, my head tells me that I need air before I'm actually allowed to take it. 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm being told. And I have to learn to kind of work through that. It's always there's a measure left or a note left. I usually have to go up on the note. I usually have to diminuendo or something crazy on it. So it's really annoying that happens. But still, it doesn't matter. My mind, it's like the gas light that goes on in my car. And yet, when my gas light goes on in my car, I still have 40 or so miles left to get to the gas station. The idea is the same with breathing. When the gas light goes on in your head, when it starts to tell you you need air, you still have a little bit more in there. And I think it's important to acknowledge that in this exercise, because it's in this exercise that I'm building the mental game for when I sing later on, okay? Now we're going to go back and we're going to do the stamina exercise again. So we're going to go back to the inhale, okay? I'm going to hold my breath this time for 16 beats at an allegretto speed, which means a little bit fast. Allegro means fast. Whenever we add etto or ina or ino to the end of a musical term, that means like little bit. So I'm going to be a little bit brisk with my tempo of how long I'm holding it for, okay? And then I'm going to send the air out on that thin stream between my lips, okay? So no S this time. Breathing, inhale, diva breath, holding for 16 beats, then an exhalation between the lips, okay? Here we go together. That felt good. I'm doing well on this inhalation today. You know, I haven't sung since Saturday, and usually by Saturdays I'm pretty wiped out because it's the end of my teaching week. So usually when I come back into it on Mondays, I'm sort of a little bit like pushing the cobwebs away, but I think it's because I've been working with you guys on Twitch a little bit. It's been helping me stay on top of my own vocal game so much better. So I want to thank you for that. Thanks for helping me practice a little bit more. That's always helpful. All right, we're going to do one more breath exercise. This time we're going to breathe in like the diva breath, and then we're going to exhale on that S for as long as we can, okay? And this time I really want you to pay attention to what happens when you inhale and on the exhalation. The last time I did that, the first time through when I did it, I felt my posture change, I felt my torso lift, and I felt my stomach muscles pull in even more, okay? So pay attention to what your body's doing, because this is sort of the pretend singing part. We're not vocalizing yet, but we're getting the gears moving so we can start to vocalize, okay? Here we go. No holding. Just inhale and then out on the S as fast as you can. Oh my God, I felt my the muscles between the bones in my rib cage start to like constrict a little bit on that one. That was crazy. Okay, so on Thursday, we did a 4-note arpeggio in our advanced lesson on Thursday. A 4-note arpeggio is do, mi, sol, do. An arpeggio is the notes of a chord. Singers can't sing a chord together because we can't sing 3 or 4 notes at a time. We can't sing 2 notes at a time unless we're with another singer. So we arpeggiate the chord, okay? And on Thursday in the advanced lesson, we did a 4-note arpeggio, okay? But today I'm going to break down the arpeggio as part of a function of our lip buzzing exercise, okay? So our first round, and we have it here right in chat, and I'm just going to refresh the chat one time in case anyone's hang on. I'm just going to put this in. I'm just trying to refresh chat because I missed somebody's question last week, and I felt so badly about that. So I'm trying to be more on top of that so we can have these great interactions, okay? So the first exercise we're going to do is at the top of my chat right now, and it says do, mi, do. That's the combination of solfege that you're going to sing right now, okay? So you're going to go do, mi, do. Okay, now a lip buzz is when I pull my stomach muscles in to make my lips flap like that. If you've been following along doing singing lessons with me, that's what you're doing. You're actually getting your voice on breath there, okay? The only way I can do that with the lip buzzing is if I pull my stomach muscles in. All right, so in order to accomplish that, you want to see if you can keep them connected. If you can't, you can do them separate. You can go okay, so we're gonna go do, mi, do, 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 do, mi, do. If you notice, when I start warming up with my students and with myself, I always start sort of at the bottom of my middle range, and then the first thing I do is progress downward. So I stretch into my low notes first. Do, mi, do. And you can sing this if you're joining me. Please sing it in any octave that feels comfortable for you. Right now, I'm crossing between from octave 3 into octave 4 on the piano. But if you're a gentleman, join me, you might be in octave 2 to octave 3. That's fine. Do, mi, do. 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 giving me some trouble lately, so I'm going to try that again. I don't like the way I sounded in there. Do, mi, do. 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 Now, if you're joining me and this is starting to feel high, don't worry. Just let it stretch as much as you can. Okay, even if it feels weird, even if it cracks, even if it feels like there's cobwebs in there, just let it. Do, mi, do. 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 Now, those were the first two notes of the arpeggio. Okay, we did do and mi. Now we're going to add sol to the top. Okay, so we're going to go do, mi, sol, mi, do. And then we're going to add it to the top. And then we're going to come back down. And you might recognize this pattern. We've definitely sung it before in the Monday lessons. So don't be afraid of it. It's also listed in my chat right at the top there. Okay, where it says do, mi, sol, mi, do, then lip buzz. Okay, so we're going to do this one. This one's going to stretch me out a little bit more. The cool thing about this is that sol on the top there, sol, is a nice open vowel. So if we start to get high and you're feeling a bit of a struggle, open your mouth more. Okay, especially if you're new to singing, open your mouth up. That's really, really, really important. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Now, if you're struggling on the lip buzzing part, you can just sing the solfege again. So you can go do, mi, sol, mi, do. Do, mi, sol, mi, do, if that's your preference. You can do as much lip buzzing as you're capable. If you start doing the lip buzzing and you notice that your lips stop flapping, it's because you've stopped pulling your stomach muscles in. So all you have to do is re-engage them. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. And that happens to me too from time to time. When I'm lip buzzing, all of a sudden my stomach muscles will drop. I just have to get them going again. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. 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 So now we're starting to stretch a little bit higher than we've gone yet. Okay, don't be scared. Just open your mouth on that top note. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. 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 notch and to pick up our breathing a notch, what I'd like to do is I'd like to do double do, mi, sol, mi, do lip buzzes if possible. So you're going to go. If that's too hard, if you feel like that's too intense, that's totally okay. Just keep doing the pattern we were doing, or just keep singing do, mi, sol, mi, do, or do it on anything. Do it on whatever makes you feel okay. This is your lesson in your way at your pace, okay? These are just guidance. These are guidance exercises, but you want to do it in a way that works. And the reason we're doing this way, where we sing the solfege first, solfege is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The reason we're doing the solfege syllables is to train the ear, and then what we're doing on the lip buzzing is training the breath. So we train the ear along with the breath, we train the voice, okay? So any version of this that you're doing for yourself is improving your singing. I guarantee it, okay? So here we go. Double lip buzzes, okay? I'm going to pick up the tempo a bit too, because if I don't, this is going to take a lot of air. When I start to get to these higher notes, which we're getting to kind of quickly because we're doing these bigger jumps, okay? I have to relax my throat. So if you feel like things are starting to get intense for that top note, I would encourage you to just try to relax the throat. That do, mi, and sol, that was the first scale degree, the third scale degree, and the fifth scale degree of the major scale. Okay, so if we were going up linearly, that would be do, re, mi, fa, sol. We skipped the re and the fa. We went do, mi, sol. See how that goes? The reason I'm bringing that up is because our next exercise is going to be something that connects sol to do. Okay, and we're going to be doing a perfect fifth descending sigh. Descending meaning going down. Perfect fifth is the interval. So that's the difference between do and sol. Do and sol, okay, is a perfect fifth. We're going down, and we're going to do it on a C, not unlike the S I was doing with my diva breath earlier. I'm going to go C. Now, I'm going to write this in chat really quick. We'll do a quick refresh for chat to see if anyone's asked me any questions. Refresh. No. Okay, das ist sehr gut. All right, here we go. I'm just putting these exercises back in so you remember what the chain was, all right? And then what we're going to do is, this is exercise number 3, okay? We're doing a perfect interval jump, which is a perfect fifth, or P5, as it's commonly notated. P5 from sol to do on a C, okay? Now, you're going to notice that that C, that SI, is the phonetic spelling of the vowels, okay? So it's not C like C, S-E-E, like it is in English. It's C like S, like C, as in Spanish. C, 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 okay? Si, señor. Si, señorita, okay? So what we're going to do is you're going to go Si. Now, if you notice when I do that, a couple of things happen, okay? I'm not really singing here. This is going to sound strange, but I'm not. I'm not really like trying to get a great big enormous sound, okay? All I'm doing is I'm taking that E vowel and I'm sending it through my nostrils and down, pulling my stomach muscles in as I go. See. And the way that I connect all of those notes in between, okay, is if I pull my stomach muscles in. So if you find yourself, you're going, see, chances are you're not totally connected to your breath, and you really want to try to be all the way down. See. And again, I started by vocalizing downwards, right? So I always sort of start my exercises, especially when I'm still in the beginning of my lesson, like I am right now. The first half of my lesson, I really try to vocalize downwards first and then ascend. Even though I'm a soprano, I have tons of high notes, I actually warm up the low first because that's where the majority of my music is sung. See. If you're struggling with this, try not to think so much about the note that you're going to and think about the note that you're leaving. I find that students who struggle with sighing, which is what this is, they're struggling with it because they're thinking about landing on that bottom note instead of leaving the top note. C. Nice and easy. C. 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 Now, if you notice, my cheekbones are up, but I'm shaking out my jaw a little bit because I don't want to get too tense in my jaw, okay? You want the jaw kind of relaxed, even though it's an E vowel, so it's really high, really lifted E vowel, okay? I don't want to be getting too tense with that within my jaw, okay? So the jaw, you want to nice shake it out. C. 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 That is so strange. I was literally just thinking about you and wondering if you were my viewer. But we're going to change it up, Georgianne, just in time. Just in time, actually. We're going to do a sigh, and then we're going to do the descending scale on many C's. So you're going to go C, 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 C. So to put that into the chat, I just finished practicing my song. Oh, that's so great. Georgianne is going to be singing in our holiday Zoom, which will be up on the Hummingbird channel on December 12th on YouTube. And she is singing this most epic, gorgeous, beautiful Christmas carol called Gesù Bambino. And it's hard, and there's a lot of descending in it. You'd probably do well to do some sighing. Just saying. Anyway, okay, so this next exercise is a combo exercise. It's going to be that P5 descending sigh. Okay. Sigh. Exercise 4. P5 descending sigh. Sarah is singing with you. Sarah is Georgianne's beautiful black cat who's so cute and pretty. Beautiful green eyes. P5 descending sigh. Then we're going to be doing sol, fa, mi, re, do, but on many C's. C's. Now, if it's too hard to do the C's, you can just do it on the sol fa, okay? All right, so this goes like this. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Now I have to say that sighing for me really had to clear. That's where I really started to feel my cobwebs from the weekend, from taking a day off, a couple days off from singing. But now that I've done it, now that I'm going back through it in my middle range, I'm starting to feel my voice heat up a little bit. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And if you notice, it's not like I'm singing so much. I'm not singing, right? I'm sort of just speaking on tone, and I'm stretching it out. On that descending sigh, I'm just stretching out over 2 notes, and then I'm speaking those notes on tone descending. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Oh, and now what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to do it on the C, C, C. So I started doing on the sol fa. C, 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 C. Maybe I'll alternate it. How about that? Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, 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 si. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. As you're going down, try not to think going down. Think going up as you go down, okay? Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, 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 si. What key are we in here? I'm playing Si, 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 si. Yikes, cruelty. Si, 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 si. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, 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 si. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I love the sound that's heating up at the low end of my range. I can feel like this low part of my voice really starting to get yummy and warmed up. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Si, 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 si. Si. Si, 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 si. Si, 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 si. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I want to just do that C, 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 that 5-tone descending C, C, C. And I want to go, okay? So you're going to go C, 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 C. Okay, so you're going to go down the 5-tone descending scale. We're going to do that again. Exercise 5 is going to be the 5-tone descending, 5 tons descending, haha. Descending scale on a C, okay? And then you're going to do a P5 jump. So we talked about the perfect 5th jump from perfect 5th interval from do to sol or sol to do. You're going to jump from do up to sol and then back down again. So you're going to do a P5 jump afterwards. From do to sol to do again on C's. Okay? So, where were we? This is really nice. It's so nice to do, you know, it's fun to do like super relaxed It's fun to do like advanced scary exercises like I do on Thursday, but it's also fun to do these exercises, just these nice relaxed exercises that get me back up and running for Monday. I love it. Okay, so we're doing C, 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 and you get to take a breath in between each one of those. Not in between each note, but in between each jump note. So C, 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 breathe, C, breathe, C. Good. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. I can't believe I got through that. That was B major, 5 sharps. C, 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 C. C, 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 C. C, C, C. Oh, I hated that top note. I'm going to start that again. That was flat. Okay, now, one thing the reason it was flat was because I was thinking about what C's do for me. What I was thinking while I was doing this C, 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 C is how connected everything is the whole time. Now, here's the great secret about singing. I'm going to take a drink of water. The great secret about singing is that vowels rule everything. So vowels are like my umbrella, okay? And then consonants hang out underneath that umbrella, okay? So when I'm singing something here, I was here. When I'm singing something like C, 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 what that really is to me in my head when I'm singing is E, 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 okay? And I'm just adding the S's in. C, 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 but that it's really it's not like 5 C's with a 6th, 7th, 8th C on that jump, right? Okay, it's not that. It's actually only C, C, C. It's actually only 4. Okay, this one long one here. C, 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 and then the disconnected ones, okay? So that's just a hint, is that you want to think E, 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 C, 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 C. We can try that if you'd like. E, 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 C, 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 C. E, 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 C, 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 C. I need to get my cheekbones up more because I'm passing in from my middle voice into my passaggio. So this gets always a little bit hairy in here for me vocally. So I really got to lift up. I really have to think almost like I've jumped up onto a deck a little bit of singing. C, C. Oh, we're doing the E's first. E, 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 C, 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 C. E, 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 C, 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 C. E, 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 C, 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 C. E, 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 C, 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 C. We're gonna stop there for a second. Okay, so as I get higher, okay, my space sort of changes and the position of my voice changes, okay? And that's true for everyone. So if you're traveling high and you're noticing that your voice suddenly seems to almost bottom out, feels like, you have all this power and you're low and middle, and then all of a sudden you go high and it feels like it's bottoming out, that's actually okay. Because it's not bottoming out, it's falling back because there's a transition going on to your head voice. And for right now, especially if you're new to singing, I think it's really important that you let that happen. Just let it go where it wants. Let your voice go where it wants, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to descend, and I'm just going to do it on the C, C, C. So I'm going to go C, 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 C. And I have picked up the tempo because it's good to pick up the tempo. C, 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 oops. Oh, cruelty. That's my new thing when I screw up on the piano. I say, oh, cruelty. C, 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 C. Now, if you notice when I'm doing this C, 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 I'm sort of watching myself in my Streamlabs thing here to make sure I'm lifting my cheekbones. But the other thing I don't know if you notice I'm doing is I'm not moving my mouth a ton. I'm not going say. It's not like a big chewy thing that I'm doing. It's actually barely happening. C, 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 C. The S is happening in my tongue, and my tongue is basically putting that in the teeth because the S is dentalized, okay? Consonants mostly are dentalized. They're in our tongue, they're in our teeth, they're in our lips, but they're really not involved where the vowels are involved, which is at the back of the tongue, back of the throat, that kind of thing. They're not involved in the vowels. Again, the vowels are the umbrella, and the consonants hang out underneath that umbrella, okay? C, 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 C. And if you're wondering how I'm breathing on this section, what I'm doing is I am getting air in between each one. C, C, not in between, sorry, in between each phrase, but not in between each note. C, 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 C. So I take a breath between those separated, the P5 jump parts, okay? But the reason I'm mentioning the breath is because I don't hold my breath after that last one when I'm changing key. I'm immediately breathing in for the next descending line. C, 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 C. And yes, my jaw is relaxed, my cheekbones are up, but I'm not changing my mouth position too much in between. Okay, so it's sort of like I'm setting the space up and I'm keeping a template there for everything that I have to have going on, okay? So now let's try this. Let's add a descending scale towards the beginning of this on an S. C, 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 C. Okay, so we're going to go up. This is exercise number 6. We're going to add the ascending scale at the beginning. Okay. So we're going to ascend the 5-tone scale and then descend. We'll do our descending scale, which is what we've been doing. Descend the 5-tone scale. And then do a P5 jump at the end. And I'm going to put a little vocal hint here. Try to imagine that you are singing only one E, which is the phonetic E, by the way. Try to imagine that you're only singing one E on your ascending and descending scale. Oops. I'm spelling things wrong. Also hint, use the S, or the S's I should say, use the S's to pull the stomach muscles in. I'm spelling things terribly. Okay, I'm gonna just actually quick copy and paste this. Oh, Georgiana's still there. Yay, Georgianne. I'm so happy you're with me. Does your middle range feel nice and warmed up right now? Sorry, I'm just copying and pasting this so I have notes for later. Okay. Okay. Let's start here. So we're gonna go C, 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 C. So without the sound because my voice is tired. Sounds good. I like it. Maybe, yeah, just do the S's. C, 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 C. Actually, I want to point that out, that Georgianne's version of what she's doing is very excellent. So if you're struggling with this in the replay, instant replay or something, all you have to do is do what Georgianne is doing, which is C, 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 C. Okay, it's still good for breathing. C, C, whoops, C, 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 Now, as I get higher, right now, I am not opening my mouth too much. So I'm not going, see, 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 see. But I am, if you notice, I'm relaxing my jaw a little bit. See, 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 see. So I'm sort of relaxing my jaw a little bit to create just a little more vertical space up there. But if you're new to singing, what I would recommend doing is let's change it from C and let's go to so. Okay, S-O. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, so, oops. So, 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 so. Oh, cruelty. So, sorry. So, what key are we in? So, 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 so. So, 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 so. I kind of like this more because even though the vowel is wider for me, it's really making me pull my stomach muscles in. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. So, 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 so. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the beginning. Now in the beginning we did a bunch of lip buzzes, okay, on a couple of different amalgams of notes in an arpeggio, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to that 3-note, that one, okay? And we're gonna start with this same thing. We'll do it on so, and I'm gonna go so, 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 okay? So I really want you to use your S to pull the stomach muscles in. That's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking about this. You know what? Let's change it. I know it's towards the end of the lesson, but let's do it on staccato because we haven't done any staccato for this lesson. So let's go ho, 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 ho. Okay, so we're doing, I'm going to put this down as exercise number 7. Exercise 7, 3-note arpeggio. Do, mi, sol, mi, do, but on a ho, ho, ho. And it's not Christmas yet, but okay. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, I don't like my O. I sound very muscly. Let's get some more H in that. Ho, 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 ho. That's better. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. sorry guys, I gotta switch to one octave because I do not like the way I am singing right now. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. What is that? You have an emoji? Is that a robot emoji? It looks like a robot. Also, I like that your stuff is purple. Ho, 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 ho. 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 So now what I'm gonna, it's just I don't know why I'm purple. Your stuff is all green. Okay. I think it's just the way chat works. What was I gonna say? Now we're gonna do doubles. Okay, so we're gonna do this a little bit. We're gonna go he, ho, 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 ho. Do you think we can add a third one? Let's do he, ho, 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 he. That's a lot, but I think we can do it. So this is an amendment to exercise 7. Is that where we are? I've tone descending. Yes. Exercise, we'll say 7B, which is triple staccato 3-note arpeggios on ho, then he, then ho again. Let's see if we can do it. It'll be really good though. It's going to reinforce the concept of the arpeggio that we were talking about earlier, so that on Thursday we can do the 4-note one again. He, oh, sorry, wrong way. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. This is where I'm really feeling the sludge. You know, I started out the lesson, I was super thrilled because I was like, oh, I sound good. I don't sound like I took a day off. Now I can really, I do actually sound like I took a day off. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. 2 more. Ho, 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 he, Blah. 1 more. Let's try that again. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. My O vowel needs some attention. Ho, 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 he, ho, 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 ho. Okay, Monday. We did it. We did a voice lesson. We went through a lot of stuff. We did 7 exercises, not including all of that breathing we did at the beginning. We started with 2 stamina exercises, then inhale, and pause due to scroll. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to pause it. Then an inhalation and an exhalation. Thank you, Georgianne. Then an inhalation and an exhalation on an S. Then we did another stamina exercise to 16. We did all of our stamina exercises today, allegretto, okay? And then we did another breathing in and out on an S. And then we did some lip buzzing and some ear training. So we did first a major third on do, mi, do, and we lip buzzed that. And then we did do, mi, sol, mi, do to build on our arpeggio. And then we started with some sighing, George's absolute favorite exercise ever, which is called an interval jump. We did a perfect fifth interval jump descending. So from sol to do, we did on a sigh with a nice S, which was just really more of a stretching out of our voice a little bit, okay? And then what we did was what? We did the P5 descending sigh, then the sol, fa, mi, re, do to match it. And sometimes we sang it on sol, fa, and sometimes we sang it on si. Okay, then we really used that si to harness our legato vocal energy. Okay, so I did 5-tone descending scale on a C with a P5 jump from do back to sol, back down to do again, okay? And then we did some other stuff too. We went back to our arpeggios. This is a lot what happened in this exercise. This is really good exercise lesson. But that's great because we're going to start singing some Christmas carols here coming up soon. So we need to have really good exercises to get us ready to go. I want to thank my friend Georgianne for joining us today and doing some exercises at her own way and pace. I encourage you to do so, okay? I'll be back tomorrow briefly to re-examine some of these exercises in a practice this video. It'll be about 15 minutes long. So if you want to join me, you can do it then, or you can just do the exercise whenever you wish. And on Thursday, we'll be having another more advanced exercise voice lesson at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for singing with me. My name is Miss Tara, wishing you love and high notes. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye, Georgianne. Thank you.